I sat in the back seat of a police car, trembling fingers wiping away tears that refused to stop falling. Ahead of me, flashing through the rain, red and blue lights illuminated the shattered windshield of my Toyota Camry, the car I'd paid off with my last savings after the divorce. And right beside me, in another patrol vehicle, sat my sister in handcuffs. Yes, her. Emily, the same Emily who'd shared a crib with me as a child, dolls as a teenager, and tears at our mother's funeral. The same woman who used to kiss my daughter's forehead and whisper, "Auntie will always protect you." Now, she stared straight at me through the rain-streaked glass, and in her eyes, there was no regret, no fear. Only cold, finely honed hatred sharpened over years. "You brought this on yourself, Claire," she whispered as the officer opened her door to escort her to the station. "You started it. And you know what?" She was right. It all began 3 months earlier, with a letter in the mail. A plain, innocent envelope addressed to the estate of George Wilcox. I almost threw it away, assuming it was another clerical error. George, my uncle, my father's brother, had died back in 2017, and we hadn't spoken in 15 years. But curiosity got the better of me. Inside was a will and a key to a safe deposit box at a Minneapolis bank. And inside that box was a ring. Not just any ring. My mother's wedding band, the half-carat diamond she'd hidden beneath her lingerie in a velvet-lined box because, as she always said, men don't understand the value of such things. My father had given it to her on their wedding day. And after she died, I'd searched for it for a week. Tore the house apart. I'd even joked with Emily that she must have stolen it to fund another wild trip to Las Vegas. She just laughed and said, "You've lost your mind, Claire." Now, the ring lay in my palm. And tucked beside it was a note from Uncle George. "Emily stole this ring the day of the funeral. I saw her. I didn't intervene. I was afraid of causing a family scandal. But my conscience haunted me. Return it to Claire. She deserves it." Did I deserve it? Me, the one who'd cared for Mom the last 2 years while Emily lived in California, building her career, calling maybe once a month? Yes, I deserved it. But the moment I showed the ring to my sister, everything went sideways. "You've lost your mind," Emily screamed when I showed up at her house unannounced. She stood on the porch in a silk robe, clutching a glass of white wine. Behind her, loud music played, some new male vocalist she'd recently obsessed over. "You're spying on me? Digging through banks? That's illegal." "No," I said calmly, "it's legal. It's in Uncle George's will. He left me the ring, the one you stole." She snorted, but something flickered in her eyes, not shame. Fear. "I didn't steal it. I took it. As a keepsake. You know how much Mom loved me. She would have wanted me to have it." "Mom loved us equally," I said quietly, "but I was the one who cared for her. Paid for her meds. Took unpaid leave for 2 years. And you? You rolled up to the funeral in a brand new Lexus and left the next day. That's not your virtue," she snapped. "You did it to play the martyr. To make everyone look at you like some saint." "I did it because I loved her," I said, low and steady. We stood there for a full minute. Then she slammed the door in my face. The war began the next day. She started with my daughter. Sophie, my 9-year-old pride, the best thing that happened to me after the divorce. Emily had always adored her. Took her to the zoo, bought her expensive toys, called her Little Princess. But a week after our fight, Sophie came home from school in tears. "Aunt Emily said you're a bad mom," she whispered, burying her face in a pillow. "She said you won't let me live normally, that you're jealous of her and want to ruin everything." I nearly choked on the pain. I confronted Emily immediately. "I was just telling the truth," she said coldly. "You suffocate that child. You won't let her come to me. You block her calls. You're holding her hostage." "I don't block calls. I just asked you not to talk about my personal life." But she'd already tuned me out. 2 days later, I got a letter from the school counselor. Sophie was reporting a tense home environment and fear of her mother. I understood then, Emily wasn't just getting back at me. She was trying to take the one thing I couldn't live without. So I decided to strike back. Emily worked as a PR director for a major travel company. Her career, everything she'd lived for the past decade. And recently, she'd been promoted to oversee relationships with key clients. One of them was the Green Horizons Foundation, an environmental nonprofit with $1 billion budget. She'd bragged about it at Aunt Linda's dinner 2 weeks before our fallout. I found the foundation's contact on her LinkedIn. Sent an anonymous email. Your PR partner, Emily Wright, has been systematically inflating event budgets and taking kickbacks from vendors. I have proof. I attached forged, but realistic receipts. And an old Instagram screenshot of her post. Finally got my Birkin. Hard work pays off, smiley face. 10 days passed. Emily was fired. She called me 32 times. I never answered. But she didn't break. Instead, she dug deeper. Her first target was my ex-husband, Mark. We divorced amicably. He'd remarried a woman named Julia and moved to Denver. But Emily found him on Facebook and messaged, "Did you know Claire's hiding that Sophie isn't your daughter?" Mark didn't believe it. But the next day, he texted me, "What insane crap is your sister spreading?" I nearly smashed my phone against the wall. But that was just the beginning. Emily filed a complaint with Child Protective Services. Claimed I was emotionally unstable, had anger management issues, and was using my daughter as a weapon in a family feud. A social worker showed up a week later. Asked Sophie disturbing questions. "Does your mom yell at you? Are you afraid of her? Has she ever said she doesn't love you?" Sophie cried. And I stood there, jaw clenched, feeling an icy knot grow inside my chest. We didn't speak for 2 months. Then came Sophie's birthday. I threw a party at home, invited neighbors, her friends, even Aunt Linda. I didn't invite Emily. But she came anyway, unannounced. With a massive gift, a pink bicycle with silver bells. "I'm your aunt," she told Sophie, hugging her tightly. "And I'll always be here. No matter what your mom says." I pulled her outside. "Leave," I hissed. "Or I'll call the police." "You've already lost everything, Claire," she smirked. "CPS is circling. Mark hates you. And Sophie, she's starting to believe you're lying." "You're a sociopath," I said. "And you're a vindictive narcissist," she shot back. I got in my car and drove off, just to cool down. 2 blocks away, I saw her Lexus tailing me. She began cutting me off, first gently, then violently. On a sharp turn, she rammed my rear bumper. I lost control and skidded onto the shoulder. When I stepped out, she was already there. "You asked for this," she said. "I'm just defending myself." And then I realized she wanted me to hit her, to make me look like the aggressor. But I didn't swing. I pulled out my phone and started recording. "Emily Wright, you just intentionally crashed into my vehicle. I'm calling the police." She laughed. "Who's going to believe you? You've got CPS complaints. And I've got witnesses who say you threatened me last month." But she didn't know one thing. I'd carried a voice recorder ever since she started interfering with Sophie. And on it, everything. Her calls. Her threats. Her lies. I handed the recording to the police. To Green Horizons. To the CPS attorney. Emily was arrested for incitement to violence and fraud. The court ruled her actions malicious and manipulative. CPS closed their case against me. And Sophie. Sophie told me the next day, "Mom, I know you love me. And I don't believe Aunt Emily." I held her so tight I probably hurt her. It's been 2 months now. Emily's out on bail, but her career is in ruins. She's moving to another state, far away from us. I don't feel triumphant. Revenge isn't victory. It's a scar that stays long after the wound heals. But sometimes you don't choose revenge. It chooses you. And all you can say then is, "Your turn." And wait to see what comes next.